Boxing Voice.
The Boxing Voice here with Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar, what do you think of this fight?
I think it's a dream match. Kovalev is, he's young, strong, dangerous. Hopkins is he's a master at what he does. I think once again a lot of people will be counting out Bernard Hopkins, but the way I see it, I think he's up 2-0 now, and they haven't even stepped in the ring. Bernard Hopkins, that's what he does to you. Is psychologically he engages you and he defeats you without laying a punch at you. So I think Hopkins, it's going to be a good fight. We don't see these types of matchups every single day. You don't see the Lakers versus the Heat every day. You don't see the Dodgers versus the Yankees every day. So watching this type of fight taking place on the 8th is going to be a privilege.
Do you think this fight will look similar to the Kelly-Pavlik fight, where Bernard was able to take away Kelly's big right hand and basically turn him into an ordinary fighter?
It's possible. I mean, it can be another Bernard Hopkins-Tarver fight. Where Tarver was the boxer, he was a puncher. Every time he would come in, he would get hit. Every time he would stay out, he would get a hit. Kelly-Pavlik was a fighter who was one-dimensional. He kept on coming strong, forward, and Hopkins dismantled him. So I think this is going to be a combination of Hopkins smothering him, taking him to deep waters, beating him to the punch. We're gonna see. I have a feeling we're gonna see a great performance from Hopkins once again.
Although Bernard supporters seem to point to the fact that Kovalev hasn't been into deep water and Hopkins is a master of it, do you think that's going to play a big part in the fight?
It might. Because look, Sergey is a fighter who you can never ever count out. Look, he's never been past 8 rounds, so there's doubt in a lot of people's minds, but you can never count him out. One punch can land it all, but you're going to have to land that one punch on Hopkins, which is very difficult. I think Hopkins will do what he does best, is go out there and measure his guy and smother him and throw combinations and beat him to the punch, show him that he has more energy and that he's got youth on his side. That Hopkins is he's an alien.
As a fighter coming up, how different is it going 12 rounds compared to 8? What's going through your head after the 9th, 10th, 11th round?
I think reality is going to probably hit him in the face. Once you go to the 9th round, it's a whole different ball game. Now you're talking about the championship rounds. 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a whole different level of fighting. Now you have to psychologically convince yourself that you can fight those last rounds and get through the fights, and especially when you have somebody like Hopkins in front of you. I mean, it's gonna be quite a fight for Sergey, but can he do it? Possibly, but I don't think he can do it against Hopkins. Hopkins is a whole different species. He's an alien.
Thank you.
The Boxing Voice.